Hi, we're here up in my brother's loft. This is Jeffrey, or Geoff for short. You like to, so thanks for having me here.
Okay.
The biggest thing that I've been finding from doing my videos is I've been filming mine. I talked to my dad about doing it and we've seen his, but I got the permission to come up here and see my brother's layout. I've seen it myself, but to film it, you hadn't quite finished it over the previous months, but it's now a really nice looking loop.
Yeah, it goes all the way around now.
Yeah, how big is the? Do you know off by heart the measurement of it? People are normally interested in that kind of thing.
It's about.
Who's there? So that was Stanley. Obviously, my nephew. He thought he'd pop up and say good night. So you were saying about how big your layout is.
Yes, well the house is 6 metres, and I think the gap there is about 3 metres. So
Okay.
Fills out of space.
Yeah, it's a large size. Mine, I have my joists, my rafters, whatever they are. They take up a lot of room.
17-ish metres. I cut that corner off.
Yeah, there's a lot going on. So we'll obviously be panning around, putting some shots in whilst we're talking about it. But we're really going to see actually how much length that my brother gets to use on the layout, which is pretty cool. So your layout bases, you've got your station here, and that goes off into. Actually, you tell me. How is your layout laid out?
Basically, bought this house for the loft.
Okay. Good choice.
Which makes you jealous.
It's brilliant.
So, I've got, the last house, similar layout to yours in the loft with the rafters and everything. And I was quite frustrated because I wanted to model the West of England mainline, but you can't have expresses on a small layout.
Yeah, you're being around corners all the time.
Yeah, so I thought we better move house and then get a house with the right loft or something in the garden that I could build a shed. Luckily we found this house. The layout's loosely based on Oakley station, but there's along that line, the West of England main line, like sort of through Hampshire, there's a number of stations that I like. So it's Oakley, Overton, Porton, Great Lees, another station that I've pinched bits from.
Yeah.
But just the general feel of the wayside station that when you get on at Waterloo, your express train just flies through it.
Yeah.
And even sort of when I've been on the train, all these stations whiz past, and you sort of catch the name and think, "Oh, what's that?" But
yeah,
Oakley's, the actual station building is still there, not used. Overton's still used.
And this is a scratch built.
Yeah,
Right?
it's all scratch built.
Yeah, we'll get some shots of that.
Of course, all plastic hard, and yeah, to model a specific area, you've got to build it from scratch.
Yeah, you can't just go buy a kit that's
not scratch. That's just left over from something else. But yeah, there's signal box.
Yeah, I've seen that.
It's the actual signal box. That's the Overton signal box.
Okay.
This half of the station's Oakley, and then I like this bit more on the Overton station, so I modelled that instead.
That's great.
Yeah, if you get some shots of that.
Yeah, definitely. And so, what does it lead on after? Obviously, we go outside the station. Obviously, you've got up and down lines that you talk about. So what is the route for you?
Well, that's Basingstoke's that way.
Okay.
The actual layout's called Oakford.
Okay.
Took the oak part from Oakley, and Oakford is a bar that me and Lucy used to meet up in.
Okay.
So I sort of kept that.
That's great.
Going this way, obviously West of England, the whole thing that appealed to me about it was the fact that everyone coming through there going that way on a morning sort of summer holidays is all going on holiday. So
yeah,
we used to have the Atlantic Coast Express or the Devon Bell.
Yes.
Yeah, everyone going there is off going to have a good time on an express train. So
That's
sort of like the idea of having express trains going through a wayside station. This this is the goods yard part of it. Obviously, it's not finished because these are the station platforms I use for my sort of the last layout, which is a generic West of England mainline. So these needs remaking really to suit the Oakley layout.
Okay.
Got a plan here just to show you roughly what it's going to look like.
Let's have a look.
You see, this is the goods yard which I've modelled here. I've added an extra siding in, but it's not a siding. It's more
Okay, so that's just over here. Okay,
Yeah, just
with
here.
the wagons.
So that's a sort of, it's a head shunt. I think in Porton they had the head shunt rather than that, but I had an extra point, so I thought I'll add that in. I wanted a bit more. And then it comes down here. It's just literally a single.
I see, and that's obviously what you're simulating.
Yeah, it's a single
all
bay.
this.
But as you can see, I need to redo the
Yeah, you
the
got
actual
a bit
platform.
of work to do here.
Yeah, that will be made out of a bit of wood and bits and bobs stuck on it.
Good. Maybe you could take some photos for me. I can
Yeah.
let the viewers see.
And then the other end is the same. It's just a simple
Okay.
so
So if
siding.
I just take the camera over here, so you
Clear
can
all
see
the-
all that. So that's coming in there, just the same. So I guess you've got it all panned out there, so you can visualise what was on here and to get it on there.
Yeah. So it's all coming along. The main sort of for anyone else who's interested, the main reference is so there's books like this about the actual Atlantic Coast Express, and it covers the I think it covers the Devon. I think it doesn't. It covers the Devon Bell now as well. Devon Bell was a Pullman train.
Okay.
I think it ran up to about 1954 before they decided it wasn't sort of profitable enough.
Yeah.
When we were in the old house, I was sort of doing my generic wayside station, and then this article came out in the Southern Way about Oakley Station. I thought, oh, you've always gone past that. Yeah, always gone past it. When we first moved in, when Mum and Dad first moved into the old house, I remember we went up to the station building. I can't remember what we were getting, like slabs or something from there, because the builder's merchant. And I've always remembered, oh, it's there, but there wasn't really anything. There weren't any sort of layout plans or anything. And when this came out, and then these books came out. I can't remember if it's before or after that article.
Mainline
to the west. Yeah, I think it's 4 parts to it.
Okay.
It's 1 to 3. It goes to Exeter, and then there's a branch line book. And there's other ones that branch off about sort of if you want to go further in.
3 books of inspiration.
Yeah, this one's really worn out.
You're flicking all the corners.
Yeah.
A minute.
Yeah, so it's loads of good stuff, but this is where I got my drawings from.
I see. So that's what these are, just blown up.
Yeah, I've copied. I hope they don't mind. I've copied them, and there you go. This
I think they'll be very happy if they need
black and white pictures of the station.
Fantastic. That's great. You've got, I
wanted enough
as such, but you got that.
Yeah, I wanted enough reference material before. I wanted, like Dad's done with his. He's done sort of Newquay station.
Yeah.
I wanted something that you, rather than making it up, based on a real thing and run authentic trains. Really, that's the main thing.
So what's the plan after we got the tunnel entrance there?
So we've actually, much to Lucy's excitement, we go on little recce's and take photos of things. So this bridge is still here. And there's you can take views looking down the line.
I see.
So the detail for this area is you've still got part of the brick wall left.
Yes.
So I can work out distances and things and where to position bits, but that's a road bridge. It goes over, so that'll be there.
I see.
And then I'm either going to carry the road on round here, which it doesn't do in real life. If I fancy going freelance, I'll carry it around there. But I'll probably keep to the plan and just have it coming out here. But I like modelling my cottages.
Yeah, I've seen you got a few of them.
Yeah, so I like doing it. Knock the chimney off the other day, but that's the.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah, do it. That's sort of that's
good
plastic
brickwork there.
That's plastic art. Then that's the Pendant style of doing the roof tiles.
Okay.
So all cut out individually. Well, not individually, but
it takes some time.
yeah, I printed the strips out on the computer, and then you snip each tile and then
I see.
lay them up.
In.
Yeah, but like Petite Properties, I think they do ready printed ones you can cut out yourself. But I've got CAD software, so I sort of did it myself.
That's great.
I plan to make quite a few call them like orange brick houses, like 1930s or earlier.
That's brilliant. So after that, it goes into what looks like a bit of countryside.
Yeah,
So this is the West Country building up.
Well, going that way is just Hampshire before it sort of you get into the rolling hills.
Yeah.
Off to Overton.
Yeah, 'cause when I spoke to you before, you mentioned that you've been working on the static grass.
And
how you're going to apply it.
Yeah, I've got a few samples that I've been playing with.
Yeah. This is from your existing layout.
Yeah, this area here, this is carpet underlay.
Mm-hmm.
It has green washes on. It's airbrushed. But the problem with carpet underlay is it's great for something like Pendon where you can do it all and nobody touches it. But
yes.
With the children, well, even with me and moving the layout around, it tends to get flattened down. I find it quite. It's great from a 3 foot distance. Probably it's all right on camera.
It looks great. If I'm honest, it looks brilliant.
I wanna add, make it. There's other materials available now, so I want to sort of add to that effect. So I've been having a little play. Basically, what you do with the underlay. So this is a new section to join the old existing bit to another existing bit, and then got the other. So if it's white, it's new. If it's got stuff on it, it's old. So I haven't got that far yet. With the carpet underlay, you get your scenery done. So what I normally do, depending on what what part it is, what sort of embankment I'm trying to create. So I'll build it up with polystyrene, and then I'll use sort of masking tape. You can sort of see here to get to smooth out the shape.
Okay.
Then I go over with sort of newspaper and wood glue. Paper mache style. Then that's painted as a watered down burnt umber, and then you get the fun part. You get hold of some ancient carpet underlay, bleach it till it's the right sort of colour. Really,
it's like straw, doesn't it?
Yeah, strawy colour. And the best way I found to do it is to pull it all apart rather than have it in the sheet. This is how Pendon do it anyway. I'm just copying them. And Barry Norman is the other guy. You make it all down like this.
Okay, so you like glue on tufts.
Yep. And you have to make a lot of carpet underlay to get it to do a lot. So I did a sort of a bucket's worth, and you do so much. You do like a couple of foot, and then come back a couple of days later. But what you do is you leave what's there and you pull it up. Once it's painted, you end up with this effect.
Yes.
But what I've been doing with all the static grass coming along, rather than completely ditching this effect, there's a couple of guys. Chris Navarre's one of the guys. He mentioned that you use static grass over the top of the carpet underlay.
Okay.
Obviously, there's some areas where I'm going to have to either carry on with this technique with static grass over the top, or I just go static grass depending on how it looks.
Yeah, you'll soon get a good idea, won't you?
This is my carpet underlay, which has had the sort of original treatment done to it. It's WWS static grass, various different shades. I think it's autumn, dead, and then this is summer.
Yes, it looks like it's quite bright.
Yeah. So this is a not too long grass. No, in sort of in real terms, it's an embankment and a tidy embankment, and then for my longer, sort of not so well kept embankment areas and sort of meadowy fields, because that's mainly what it's going to be. There's going to be farmland and all sort of meadow, unkept areas. This is a 4mm summer from WWS. That's spring green scene, and that's summer green scene.
What was your favourite?
I think what I'll end up doing is using probably green scenes shades for the majority of it, because it ties in with.
It does, yeah.
It ties in really well with what I've already got, and when I blend into shorter grass, it won't have the carpet underlay under, and I think that will to the boards to the edges, it will just be static grass.
Yeah.
So I think it'll be majority of their shade, with sort of bits of that in with it. Because you just get a carpet of blandness otherwise.
Yeah.
So I'm quite happy. That's why I haven't gone forward really, because
you've got to work that out.
yeah,
first.
I've been doing all the electrical parts and not really got into the fun scenic parts.
Yeah, we can talk about that scene. So once you've done the static grass, it's a case of you've got your backdrops there. I've seen you've done some painting there, which is great. That's right, squeaky floor. Yeah, so you've got your backdrop that you started doing, so you're going to try and do a bit more of that.
Well, that's left over from the last layout.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'll add to that. It's just hardboard painted, emulsion, and then use sponge for the clouds.
Yeah, no, they look great.
So
I need to do a bit of that.
It's pretty simple. I don't know if I'll completely start again or just try and carry that on. See how it looks. But the next thing I've got to do really, and my main concern was making sure I could get the grass to look okay. But
yeah, looks like I think you're going to be alright with that.
Yeah, I'm happy with that. It's just the bulk order now really, and crack on. But the next bit to do really now, once I've done all the track work.
What track do you use?
It's the original bit's SMP Markway track.
Okay.
And that was hard to get hold of for a while, so I got some CNL track, which is really nice.
Yeah.
It's better in the bends as well. It's
okay.
Yeah, I don't know quite why, but it seems to be
a nice curve. And
yeah, it's more flexible. So yeah, it's CNL track. I did have copper-clad sleepers.
Yep.
But for reliability with the DCC, Pika have brought out some new K75 scale. I can't remember what they call them. Scale points.
Yeah.
So I've gone over to those. And retired my copper-clad stuff.
I see.
That can go on display. In the Fiddle Yard, it's normal code 75, purely for sort of reliability, really.
Static grass is done. You've done your sky. That would be next.
Yep.
It looks like you've got a bit of track work to do in regards to ballasting and painting.
Yep. So what I'm doing at the minute is just checking everything's reliable, checking there's no bits that bounce or throw the engines off the track. One of the things getting the boards, because some are boards original, some are new. It's getting the boards to align nicely, and where the track goes from one to the other. Don't want anything to show up a lot really
no
where it drops. Yeah. So yeah, once I'm happy with that, then I'll finish that. I'll spray the sleepers, paint the rail, which takes absolutely forever.
It will take forever.
And then I'll ballast. It'll be I think it's fine Woodland Scenics ballast that I use. Mix of buff in their grey colour, which gives you sort of a southern ballast. Meldon Quarry ballast.
That's great. So connected to the track is always power.
Yeah.
To get our locos going, and I understand you've gone over to what is the Merg system that DCC, not DCC, but a DCC system that Merg has done that you've been doing with Dad.
Yeah, Dad's a member of Merg, and he obviously he's got an electronic background, so I work with him on the controller part of it, because we do the American layout together.
Yeah.
So as I've learned stuff on that, I've sort of brought it onto this layout. And yeah, where I've got to so far is the power bus is all in, because you need a constant supply to the track. You see all the shiny bits on the rail where all the droppers are.
I see. Yeah, I saw you. There's quite a few of them.
Yeah.
Dotted around.
That's taken a while.
Yeah, and how was it that you got into doing DCC? Because I think when I last originally used to come round and you'd first started this, you hadn't done any DCC, you're a DC like me. So what kind of stemmed you leading that way?
Working with Dad on the American layout, he didn't have a layout that went all the way around, because when you set up the consists for the American ones, every layout, every loco on that layout has to run at the same speed on the same speed step, and he needed a loop for that. And obviously, because his English one's DC, he said, "Oh, could you, if I give you my DCC controller, stick it onto your track, as you've got no wiring or anything like that yet, and set up the CVs on my locos for me." I thought, okay, I'll give it a go. So he could concentrate on the baseboards of the American ones just to keep things going. I had no idea what I'm doing. Gradually got my head around what all the different CVs do.
Yeah.
And how to tweak them. I thought, this is quite fun actually.
So could you tell me a bit more about CVs? Like what do CVs do? What are they controlling?
Layman's terms, is CVs control the characteristics of for me, it's my sound decoder.
Mm-hmm.
When you buy the sound decoder, you'll get a reference sheet like this. In your function keys relate to a pre-programmed CV.
Okay.
If you want to take a sound off, so if you buy like I've got M7 decoders, and when I put that decoder into 700 class, which has the same boiler, everything's the same, apart from it doesn't have the pump on it.
Okay.
So I go into the CV and I turn the volume for the pump onto 0, and then it doesn't come through.
Nice and simple.
Yeah. So these are your different sound effects. If you see, where's the pump?
Sorry. So that's
41 pump. It loops. So with it being the 700, I don't want that when it be sat on the station. I don't want that looping round.
So in loops, it just goes on for a certain amount of time.
Yeah,
and then it will come back on again a bit later every time.
So your 700 class will start making the sort of the pump sound. So you look up the CV, and they U-Choose are really good. They give you the sheet and tells you.
Okay, so U-Choose. Okay, I'll put a link to them in the description.
Yeah, U-Choose are brilliant. You can email them, phone them. They're usually at Waterloo show, and they've been at the Sandra Palace show before.
So you found them pretty helpful then?
Yeah. So if you want to take that, if you say the pump, you want to take the pump off.
Yep.
You look at what the CV. You got the function key. So if you want to make the noise, that would be CV.
So 543,
and then you just look at what volume is that set to.
Okay.
Which I haven't changed that because I just don't press the button. But the looping one.
So this is a sheet from U-Choose with the sound files in.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then you can go to their master kind of sheet.
So the looping one be the 759, and then you go to 759 on here. In random sound, and then you just adjust that to the sound to the correct volume, so it doesn't make a sound. And if you like a sound and you want it to be louder, you can look up the setting, and you can
so you just pump it up.
Yeah, you can make it louder, quieter. So this is generally what CVs are assigned to. Some vary. This is a Tsunami, a Soundtracks Tsunami decoder from the American layout, but I picked this one because it shows you a good list of what they know what's what. The primary address, that's what you program your loco to when you dial it up on the controller. And then you have a long address, which is what I tend to use, and you can change that as well.
Okay.
But so the main ones is adjust anything you want louder or quieter or on or off. When you get the American ones, you program in what type of bell you have.
Okay.
And other sort of characteristics. Actually, on the Soundtracks ones, you put in your actual loco. You buy one that suits a number of different locos, and then you choose the one that applies.
That's great.
But the main thing to get say if you want something started from the station, you want it to if it's going to be an express, you want to put it onto the speed that it wants to be running at eventually. So you adjust your acceleration rates so that it pulls away at the right rate.
I see. So that's what these are for. So we can go in, we can adjust them to change basically
you got your,
what flat out is or what middle speed is.
Acceleration rates and all sorts of bits.
And that matches the sound that's coming out of it as well when it happens.
So like with the King, you can get that you can get it barking.
Yep.
Set it to say it's pulling a heavy train. Turn it up to a good speed, and it'll bark its way out of the station.
I think we'll have to get some video of that, won't we?
Yeah.
As well as some of the others, I think. We'll do a little running session.
I shouldn't strictly have a GWR King, but it's my favourite engine, so
it's okay. It's allowed. It's your railway.
Yeah, it was too heavy for this line.
So we're here by the Fiddle Yard, which I find always very interesting because you've got a lot of rolling stock in here and a lot of locos.
Yep.
So that's the King you mentioned before. We'll see that going. But there's a very nice looking loco here, which I believe has some significance to your DCC world.
Yeah, obviously it doesn't belong to the West of England mainline. This is one of the locos I set up for Dad's American layout. We've done custom speaker houses. It's got a Tsunami decoder in it, and I was just really impressed with the flexibility of it, really, what you can do with it, and it just sounded amazing. So I sort of started looking into the UK sounds, because when it first came out, I wasn't too impressed really, and the manufacturers didn't really make any space to put your speakers in and bits and bobs like that. But it's more accommodating now, and I thought, I'll just have a look into it. There's quite a few good companies now that are making the sounds, and they sort of getting really into it. Most of the locos up there are halfway through having decoders put in. This L class, obviously, just measured it up. Okay,
I see.
I can put a big
some
decoder.
Circuitry in that boot.
Yeah, that's I think it's 18 or 21 pin. I can't remember
I see.
what it is, but that'd be a U-Choose decoder in there.
Yeah.
So Lord Nelson class, that's gonna have a U-Choose one, and then my West Country, Battle of Britons, they're gonna have it's a Digitrains. It's a Loco Man sounds. So they're just there ready to be decoded. But
fantastic.
Obviously, because I was DC. It's you got to do it in increments.
It's a bit of a changeover.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've done, but everything on the tracks, obviously, DCC.
Yeah.
Just sort of working my way through.
That's great. So I don't know if there's anything else you want to talk about before we go and do it, but you've got various different locos that are special because a lot of them are hand built that you've played with. You know, you've built your chassis and bodies and everything. So we'll be running a few of them round.
Yeah,
is there anyone that you want to talk about a little bit and explain a bit more about?
I've only got one of my kit built locos actually decoded up so far.
I see. Is that by any chance this one just here?
Yeah, that's
So I don't recognise this one.
that wouldn't have been on this line, but I just really like the loco, and it's before I decided what area I was going to model.
So what is it?
It's a London Brighton South Coast Railway C2X class.
Okay.
Obviously,
it's great.
And I've done it in a sort of 1950-ish. It's the Gill Sands lettering on the it's Southern Railway Sunshine lettering.
Okay.
On the sides. This is the one I was thinking of. Was this 700? So that's Sunshine lettering. This is an actual one I modelled.
Yeah.
Sunshine lettering. Then you got Gill Sands British Railways. I like this. Sort of, he's a bit drunk.
Yeah. You're having a great time.
I like that. I like that era. It's not modelled as much, but you see a lot more photos of that era appearing, especially online.
Yeah.
Private collections popping up. So my main focus will be sort of the 48 to mid 50s, and then obviously I'll swap the stock, and then it'll be I'll get my diesels out.
Yeah.
And it'll be a late 50s. It'll be dirty West Countries and merchant navies with diesels. Yeah.
No, that's great. So I guess what we could do now is do some running. We get some, but we won't be adding in any music. I think we'll just have the music of the engine that's been programmed inside them. They got their own speakers, so we'll do a bit of that, and then we'll come back afterwards and see you then. big thank you for letting me come and record your railway. Obviously, there's a lot that you want to do on it, so you're probably thinking, I wish it was more finished. But it's work in progress, so we can hopefully record more.
Yeah, it's got to a point now where it should start looking different. All the boring butts underneath are pretty much there.
You did a bit of wiring,
yeah.
I understand. So that sounds fun.
There's a bit of programming to do, so that's something that, if it interests people, we'll get Dan involved in.
Yeah, I think for myself, I'm interested in DCC. I was thinking about getting some of the stuff that's already out there, and also talk about the Merg system a bit more. Obviously, that's kit built to create your system, and it's probably a cheaper route into it. You do need to be a member, I believe.
Yeah, to get hold of the kits you do. Yeah.
Yeah, so it's probably a great community to be part of, because you can develop your layout in your own way.
You have to like soldering.
Yeah, soldering skills are essential. So with that, I guess we'll be back again at some time in the future. So I'll see you guys all soon. I just want to say a big thanks to all my subscribers. You're always fantastic and great, and help me with everything that I'm doing, with the nice comments and everything like that. And big thanks to my patrons. Obviously, your help is very much appreciated. Anyway, I'll see you soon, and see you next time. Bye.